Respect and understanding are the building blocks of love and trust in every relationship. However, not all relationships follow these basic rules, leaving many people in situations that threaten their well-being and pride. Why do some men do this? Allow actions that clearly disturb their peace and weaken their self-respect. This question, even though it's hard to answer. Its answer lies not only in societal norms, but also in personal boundaries, or the lack thereof. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy known for its practical advice on how to live well, gives us deep insights into how to keep one's moral integrity and personal autonomy. It teaches us that true strength lies not in external affirmation, but in internal resilience and the ability to stick to one's principles in the face of hardship. Today, we'll look at 4 important behaviors that can help you do this. All of these actions not only hurt the peace of the person involved, but they also hurt the very idea of a respectful and mutually beneficial relationship. Using the view of Stoicism to understand and deal with these problems can give men the power to take back their independence and make sure that their relationships are truly caring and respectful. By setting clear boundaries and practicing Stoic virtues, people can build relationships that promote personal growth and mutual respect. Are you ready to learn from Stoicism's wise advice and change the way you approach personal relationships? The path to self-respect and happiness. Number 1. Don't let her control you. In Stoic philosophy, the focus is on individual strength and autonomy, telling us that giving up control over our life choices to someone else is a fundamental breach of our essence. This deep ancient knowledge, shown by Marcus Aurelius, says that you have control over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll see that strength is especially important in relationships where the balance of power can sometimes tip unfavorably. For example, Thomas was a dedicated artist who was slowly forced to give up painting and take a more normal job to accommodate his partner's needs for financial security and social status. At first, Thomas thought this compromise was a sacrifice for the greater good. This story makes a very important point. When we let someone else make decisions for us, we risk losing not only our freedom, but also what makes us happy and fulfilled. Why do we sometimes put up with this kind of overreach? Often, it's because we're afraid of conflict or don't know what real support in a relationship looks like. Stoic philosophy asks us to think deeply about whether we are protecting our inner citadel, our own emotional and reasoning core, or whether we have let someone else's wants for us breach it. The Stoic way of dealing with relationships is not to guarantee understanding or compromise, but to push for harmony where respect for each other rules encounters. To do this, people need to be able to talk openly about their limits and standards and make sure they are met with understanding instead of demands. Being in line, Stoicism says that a true partnership should make us better people, not make us less so. Think about the dynamics of control in your relationships. Are you protecting your autonomy and making sure that you have full control over your life? Are the compromises you make making your life better, or are they quietly draining your spirit? Let this examination be a call to action to reclaim your agency and to strengthen your life against. According to Marcus Aurelius, all you need to make your life happy is to change the way you think. Adopt this Stoic view and strive for interactions that value and respect your independence. We can see that letting go of power in any way leads to real happiness and success. Form isn't just about taking away our freedom. It could also mean taking away the quality of our lives. That's why we should work to make links that support our deepest values and inspire our highest hopes. I believe that our relationships should help us grow and not hold us back. By understanding and following these Stoic principles, we can create a life that is not only independent and self-sufficient, but also full of mutual respect and personal fulfillment. To sum up, relationships should be a source of support and growth, not a battleground for control and suppression. As you go through your interactions, Ask yourself if your partnerships uplift you or bring you down. In the world of Stoic philosophy, where virtue and the integrity of the person are valued, you should never let your partner play or show off her body to get attention from other people. In particular, the idea of seeking external validity through flirting or physical show can be very upsetting. Stoicism tells us to be happy with ourselves and to value personal virtue over approval from others. Epicus. We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thinking about what happens. This is what one of the great Stoic thinkers said. This insight is very important when thinking about why you shouldn't put up with a partner's need for outside approval, which can show up as flirting behavior or in the way they choose to present themselves physically to others. Think about the story of Sarah and Mark. Sarah often felt insecure and looked for comfort in praise from other people. This made her flirt and dress inappropriately in public. She made Mark feel bad and disrespected, which he saw as a clear sign that Sarah cared more about other people's attention than their relationship. This shows a common problem. When one partner acts out of a need for external validation, it can put a lot of stress on trust and mutual respect in the relationship. Why would someone want external validation in such a way? Often, it's because they are insecure or don't believe in their own self-worth. Stoic philosophy tells people like Sarah to look inside for approval and develop values like self-respect and temperance, which can help them get rid of their need for approval from others. Partners in this dynamic should talk about their problems in an open and honest way to get to the bottom of them. They should also work together to build a relationship based on real respect and internal validation instead of admiration from others. Think about these questions. Have you ever felt like your partner was trying to get approval from other people in a way that made you feel bad? How did you deal with these feelings? What can you do to help each other find validation from within? From a Stoic point of view, it is important to build relationships based on internal virtues instead of external perceptions. This means creating a space where both partners feel safe and valued for who they are, not for the Marcus Aurelius said something smart. This quote says it all. Accept the things that fate binds you and love the people that fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. It shows how important it is to really connect with others and not just look for approval from others. By not putting up with behavior that wants approval from others, you help both yourself and your partner build a stronger sense of self-worth and confidence that doesn't depend on what other people think. This method not only makes the connection stronger, but it also fits with the Stoic goal of living a good life with inner peace. As we look for relationships that reflect our deepest values, let's ask ourselves and our partners to look inward for acceptance. When we do this, we build stronger, more meaningful relationships that aren't shaky by the whims of outside approval. Now, I want you to think about your own experiences. Have you had similar problems in your relationships? If so, how did you handle them, and what advice do you have for others? Please add your thoughts below and join the chat. Third, let's help each other build relationships that are good for our health and help us live peaceful, happy, and successful lives. You should never put up with someone who makes you feel bad about yourself. Have you ever been in a relationship where your partner's words or actions made you doubt your worth or abilities? This happens a lot of the time and can really hurt your self-esteem and general health. Stoic philosophy, which focuses on inner strength and personal integrity, gives us deep understanding of why we shouldn't put up with this kind of behavior. Dynamics in relationships. Let's look at the case of Michael, a dedicated teacher whose partner Laura often put him down. Laura would say mean things about Michael's job and social skills, especially in front of their friends. Over time, Michael started to doubt his professional skills and social worth, which affected both his work life and his social interactions, making him less interested in the things he used to enjoy. Classical Greek philosopher Epictetus famously said, It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. This means realizing that hurtful comments don't hurt because of the words themselves, but because of how we accept them as true. But why do we sometimes put up with such negative influences? People often do this out of a false sense of loyalty or the hope that the other person will change. However, Stoic philosophy tells us to see things as they are, not how we want them to be. Marcus Aurelius said that if something outside of you hurts you, it's not the thing itself that's hurting you, but your opinion of it, which you can change at any time. This way of thinking makes us want to reevaluate our relationships and make sure they are making our lives better. Think about this. How often do you find yourself defending your partner's bad behavior? How does that affect your happiness and sense of self-worth? Stoicism doesn't say that we should just accept life's problems, even those that come up in relationships. Instead, it encourages us to be active in our surroundings and make sure that our actions always reflect our beliefs and virtues. This includes building relationships that are caring and helpful instead of insulting. Seneca's words hit home here. Associate with people who are likely to make you better. Taking action to fix a situation where you feel inferior is not only a good idea, it's also necessary. This could mean setting clear boundaries, going to counseling, or even rethinking the relationship altogether. The goal is to create a space where mutual respect and support are the norm, not the exception. Let us live our lives by the Stoic principle of keeping our inner peace safe from the chaos going on around us. By doing this, we not only protect our dignity, but we also improve our chances of being happy and successful in relationships. This means asking for respect and giving it in return, creating a dynamic that supports the growth and well-being of both partners. Remember that it's never okay to let someone make you feel bad about yourself. Challenge yourself to keep the values of self-respect and personal integrity. Think about the quality of your relationships. Do they make you feel good, or do they make you feel bad? Leave your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below, and let's talk about how we can help each other build better, more satisfying relationships. Choose to be around people who make you feel good, not people who bring you down. As we work through the process of overcoming the necessary limits that need to be kept in relationships, we come to a basic truth. Since trust and loyalty are the building blocks of any good relationship, let's look at number 4 through the lens of Stoic knowledge. Being cheated on or disrespected by your partner is completely unacceptable according to the Stoic philosophy. Keeping your honor and self-respect when facing problems in the outside world is most importantly, cheating and disrespect go against these principles and hurt the trust and respect that are needed for any relationship to be effective. Stoicism teaches us not only how to deal with problems, but also how to rise above them, making sure that our relationships add to our life's tranquility instead of taking away from it. Think about the story of Emily and Chris. Emily found out that Chris, her partner of several years, had been cheating on her. Chris's actions showed a deep disrespect for both their relationship and Emily as a person. This kind of betrayal not only broke Emily's trust, but it also had a huge effect on her self-esteem and emotional health. Stoicism tells people to think about what they can control, like their beliefs and how they react to things. Marcus Aurelius said that the best way to get back at someone who hurt you is to be different from them. Instead of giving in to anger or revenge, Emily worked on her own growth, which made her more determined to demand respect and loyalty in her future relationships. Why is it so important not to put up with this kind of disrespect? Stoics would say that letting this kind of treatment go by without taking action hurts one's sense of self and ethics even more. Epictetus asked, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" This question makes us think about our worth and hold ourselves to standards that promote trust, respect, and loyalty in our relationships. How do you make sure that your relationships reflect these values? Are there clear limits that you and your partner have set to build trust and respect? Thinking about these questions can help us handle our personal relationships in a way that is in line with our deepest values. From a Stoic point of view, every person deserves respect, and any action that diminishes this respect should not be tolerated. This philosophy not only protects us against the betrayal, but it also gives us the power to make choices that are in our best interests. As Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The pain of betrayal, while profound, can also be a powerful catalyst for personal development and clarity in defining what one truly values in relationships. For those navigating the aftermath of infidelity or disrespect, the Stoic approach offers a path forward that focuses on personal resilience and integrity. It encourages us to reclaim our power by focusing on aspects of our life that we can improve and control, rather than dwelling on the hurtful actions of others as we reflect on the unacceptability of being cheated on or disrespected. Let's use this understanding to cultivate relationships that are built on a foundation of mutual respect and trust. Encourage one another to live up to the ideals of fidelity and respect, not just as rules to be followed, but as expressions of the highest respect we owe to ourselves and our partners. In closing, remember that you have the strength and the right to demand the best in all your relationships. Do not settle for less out of fear or complacency. How will you ensure your relationships are built on respect and trust? Share your thoughts and experiences, and let's support each other in building a life that reflects our true worth, this path to a calm, happy, and successful life. Respecting ourselves and demanding respect from others is the first step in living a full life. The story of Simon and Elena. To better understand the principles we've already talked about, let's think about the story of Simon and Elena, a couple whose relationship problems show how important it is to keep Stoic virtues in personal interactions and boundaries. A young engineer named Simon used to live in the busy city of Seattle. He was known for being calm and having a life that seemed well-balanced and honest. A modern example of the ideals of Stoicism, Simon had been seeing Elena, a lively and driven graphic designer, for more than 2 years. Their relationship, however, was a test of his Stoic beliefs, as it included the 4 problems that a man should never put up with in a relationship. The first was the issue of control. Elena, who was intense and passionate about design, often tried to control not only her own life, but also Simon's. She told Simon what to wear, who to meet, and even what projects he should work on at his firm. At first, Simon thought this was care and involvement in his life, but as time went on, he felt his independence slip away. At first, this control was subtle, but it soon became the tone of their conversations. Then, there was the matter of Simon felt uncomfortable because of what she did. Not just being friendly, but also wanting to be validated by others made Simon question the basis of their trust. On top of that, they put him down. Elena often said things that made Simon doubt his choices and questioned his skills as an architect. For example, "Are you sure that's the best design you can come up with?" Or, "I guess not everyone needs to be innovative." These seemingly harmless comments started to hurt Simon's confidence, poisoning his sense of self-worth. Finally, Elena betrayed him by cheating on him. On a rainy Thursday night, Simon got home earlier than normal to find Elena having an inappropriate relationship with someone else. This betrayal was a serious breach of their promise and a clear disregard for their values. Simon held these events very dear. As a follower of the Stoic philosophy, he firmly believed that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Each of these problems, control, seeking validation, disrespect, and cheating, were not just personal grievances. They were philosophical tests in the days that followed. Simon thought a lot about his beliefs. He thought about Epictetus's advice, "If you want to be loved, love," and understood that love shouldn't make you put up with disrespect or betrayal. Simon decided that it was important to deal with these problems. He set up a meeting with Elena at a quiet cafe, a neutral space for what would be a turning point in their relationship. During the conversation, Simon calmly shared his thoughts and feelings, not by accusing Elena, but by being clear and firm about how each behavior made him feel and why he couldn't accept it in his life. At first, Elena listened defensively, but as the talk went on, she too thought about what she had done and how it had affected Simon. Simon came to the conclusion that very little is needed to live a happy life. It's all in your own mind. He said, "I value my peace, respect, and fidelity too much to compromise. We have different paths to walk, and I think it's time we do them separately." They said goodbye, but not in a dramatic way. Instead, they understood and respected each other's need to grow. This decision wasn't easy, but it had to be made. Simon's adherence to Stoic views helped him regain his independence and honesty. In the months that followed, he learned that he could not control Elena's actions, but he could control how he responded and what was going on around him. Focusing on his career and well-being again, Simon found comfort in his newfound freedom and peace, reinforcing the Stoic idea that our strongest defense is the strength within ourselves. The story of Simon and Elena is the end of our journey today to learn about the wisdom of Stoicism. As a final message through today's valuable and meaningful lessons, don't be afraid to make changes that are more in line with these principles. Remember that you have the power to make your relationships into strong, loving bases that improve your life. If you found value in what we shared today, please don't hesitate to like and leave a comment about your thoughts. Let's get this information out to everyone so it can help them.